Number 7. Boys were trying to make a parody of the Ghost Hunters television series. Little did the small group know that on this night, they would accidentally capture actual evidence of real ghosts. Chunky wanders around a property with the camera close to his face while narrating. He passes by an ordinary-looking Gilson window. It doesn't think much of it at the time. When he goes back to review the footage later, he makes a startling discovery in the window. It looks like his parody show has turned out to be the real thing. From the other side of the glass, the colorless reflection of Event's face stares that you can clearly see the outline of the ghost's sprout nose and empty eyes. His head is cocked to the right, almost as if you sizing up a newcomer's often appears to be a thin expressionless line. If any, that ghost has incredible timing. Right wind junked up kid and says that he's looking for evidence of ghosts, which just happens to show up in the window. It's almost as if the ghost was trying to make its presence known. Perhaps it was even trying to get a hold of what you could free him from its miserable cell. Number 6. Restaurant spooks. Most people think of houses, hospitals or jails when they think about ghost sightings, but some of the most unsuspecting places can turn out to be the most haunted. This footage was taken in a popular food choice during broad daylight. A shadowy ghost suddenly materializes in a Subway restaurant. It starts out in the shape of a human and almost appears to be getting a table. When it gets back to it, the black shadow suddenly changes into a floaty black blob of a door. At this point, an employee or maybe a customer appears to see the ghost in the doorway. Whoever they are, they look stunned for a second and then quickly back away the shadow or pays no attention to the human as it floats up to the window and lingers there. It's almost as if it's taking a look at the outside world. The ghost starts to rise even higher and shrinks it to the full, disappears back to wherever it came from. Number 5. The Ghost Stadium. Ghosts don't have to wait until nighttime before they can begin to haunt. As this Brazilian soccer footage shows, the crowd is happily cheering on their favorite team when suddenly a shadow ghost starts sprinting through all of them. Look closely and you'll notice how nobody tries to move out of the way. Even though a person is clearly running full speed at them, not a single person tries to pull their legs in or even bothers to look up. They're so concentrated. Number 4. Fringe ghost. A YouTuber named No Ghost Hunter grows tired of living in a haunted home and decides to videotape the disturbances for evidence. It's a little past midday when you hear scratching noises, which soon progresses into running footsteps and loud bangs. These noises appear to be coming from all different areas of the home at once. The next day, his HD TV literally begins rocking violently from side to side all by itself. The rocking motion picks up speed until the corners of the TV are almost hitting the entertainment center and it looks like the base is going to break. Then the TV starts rocking back and forth the other way. There is nobody behind the television and there's no way they could have been using strings to do this. The day after, No Ghost Hunter finds a short video on his phone that he is 100% sure he did not make. The video is shot from the ground level of his kitchen. When you look at the reflection in the oven, you can see that nobody is holding the phone. A few days later, he captures his refrigerator door slamming open and closed again and again. The breeze in Poltergeist leaves the door open to make sure its presence is fully known. Number 3. Watch from above. A group of British friends are playing catch in a courtyard when one of them sees something strange and points it out to the others. The camera follows his gaze and stops on a pale face looking at them from high above. This ugly person looks at them for a second longer before silently slipping out of view. The group is now creeped out. It wants to know who has been spying on them this whole time. They tell the property manager about the face they saw in the window, but she says that it's impossible. The room they're talking about has been locked in unoccupied for quite some time. The manager goes up with them to unlock the door and show them around. They try and find the person, but the place is completely empty. There's no way anyone could have been up there yet. The camera obviously says different. Number 2. Old Pete's Ghost. There's a famous pub in Sydney, Australia, called the Carlisle Castle Hotel. For years this local watering hole has been haunted by the ghost of Old Pete, a bitter ex-employee who left the earth quite some time ago. But not his job. His ghostly antics have been caught on camera no less than 3 times. Time he was caught on tape. He was helping a customer. The unsuspecting man opens the door to the cooler when he decides to grab 2 bottles of red wine for himself. His ghost grill might have not been tonight though, because both bottles go crashing to the floor. Although this could have simply been a freak accident. What are the chances that of all the red wine glasses, the one that's directly underneath the server happens to be the one to fall break? The timing is almost too perfect to be a coincidence. strikes again. The third and final tape reveals a glimpse of old Pete himself. The bar is empty this time when the angry ghost suddenly materializes in front of the security camera. If you look closely, you can make old Pete's head at the bottom of the screen appears to be waving. Many other bartenders and customers all claim to have seen old Pete for themselves in one way or another. It isn't uncommon for teams to turn on by themselves, and the bartenders have seen what they can only describe as strange things while counting down their registers after close. To make this all even stranger, all of the bottles that go crashing to the floor are always high in red wine. This just so happened to be old Pete's favorite drink, at least when he was still with the living number for the church disturbance. Number 2. Two girls are alone in their house when one of them sees something in the doorway. Pause the video and you can see it's clearly the upper half of a young girl who was dressed in old-fashioned clothes from another time period. She's floating in mid-air as she curiously peeks in on the two children to see what they're doing. One of the girls still doesn't seem to go. She shows that something that's on television and accidentally startles the ghost away. The girl with the camera follows the ghosts and retreats. The ghost instantly teleports investors from the top of the steps. The scared girls run out of the house screaming. They still believe for a second to turn around from the street. They can see the ghost girl walking across the left window on the top floor, vanishes, and then suddenly appears on the bottom for less than a second. They scream even louder and take off again. Number 2. Stay out of the app.